feel, what it makes you question about every single thing that you think you know. And if you can't, if you...
Miss Andrea, relay, this is Rick Grimes, come in, please.
Yeah, it does that sometimes. Look,
recently I watched From, and I noticed how it wasn't just similar to Lost, which makes sense because some of the executive producers from that show work on this show, but it's also extremely similar to The Walking Dead. As I was watching it, I was making notes, and it is really uncanny. There are some really eerie similarities to it. Not to say they're copying The Walking Dead or one is better than the other. I mean, you can decide that. At the most, I think some of this stuff could be inspired, and the rest just really weird coincidences if they exist. So let's get straight into it, and of course, make sure you press the like button and subscribe if you're new, and make sure you set that notification bell to all.
I'm keeping this group together, alive. I am trying to keep you alive. Don't you see that? I didn't ask for this. You think I want to do this?
The first thing that I think is the most noticeable that you probably picked up yourself is the show's intros are extremely similar. Both shows start with the sheriff protagonist. The first victims we see of the show's monsters were little girls, and if you wanted to go even deeper into that, it was a little girl and a woman. Both shows start with the rest of the main characters in an RV. When Negan and the Saviors were the villains of the show, they stopped their captives with a tree in the road.
Negan.
Just like the town does in From. Crows are a symbolic thing in both, and I think they're used to represent the same things. Crows symbolise lots of stuff, depending on where you are. It can be good luck in some places, while foreshadowing troubles and misfortunes in another. Transformation, destiny, gathering around the dead, and in Shakespeare plays, death and the afterlife. The first time we see these crows, the characters point out how they start acting weird and circling around them, gathering around the dead. The outcasts of the group dug graves before attacks. Both had ominous premonitions that something would happen and dug them beforehand, which really made me laugh for some reason because it is unbelievably similar. It's pretty much identical actually.
Victor! What the hell are you doing? You're freaking people out.
Hey, Jim, why are you digging?
You're scaring people.
You heading to China, Jim?
The priests of the shows both share something dark from their past that they're ashamed of. Both of them are actually really alike as well.
Well, let's just say I've had plenty of chances to work on my answer.
Holy
When Father Catry was killed by the monsters, while Gabriel didn't die, he was recently cut in the exact same place by the Reapers. In Season 1, Episode 9 of From, very similar music plays when a character was found hung, similar to The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 16. The sheriff's wife has to die to save his kid. The sheriff then sees visions of his late wife, just like The Walking Dead's sheriff in Rick. When Sarah took people out and did the unforgivable, she was exiled. The same thing that Carol did at the prison. She also thought she was helping by doing it and also got exiled because of it. Carol later saved them, as Sarah is presumably going to as well, if the voices in her head do actually want to help them. When Laurie dies, Rick goes mad, and his voice is of the dead on the phone.
Laurie?
Tabitha didn't die, but when she left the town, and Jim was more on edge, he heard voices from the dead, his late son.
Dad, it's Thomas.
The scenes are scarily similar. There's also big similarities to the characters, almost as though there's been this role reversal. For example, Jim looks a bit like Rick, but his role is more of a secondary character, especially now if he's dead. And you can really do this with the whole cast. There's even similarities with the rate that each season is going. There's currently only 3 to go on, but it will be really interesting to see how much it lines up as more seasons come out. Season 1, of course, was the introduction, and it had all the similarities I've mentioned. Then in Season 2, we saw them venture out from where we had normally seen them, and in the 3rd season, the big event was the pregnancy, and we're now finding out that Tabitha and Jade have been together for years. So the loner of the group got with the one with the family. Is that not really similar to Rick and Michonne? Now we are only 3 seasons into From, and there's already all this really similar stuff, so we've got quite a few years and seasons left for more similar stuff to happen and more questions and answers being revealed. I think it's going to be really interesting to see a show with a similar vibe to The Walking Dead and see how they go about the longevity of it. Will it finish earlier than shows like The Walking Dead and Lost? Because they could really keep going. They keep answering some questions but adding even more. And I quite like that. Of course, the 4th season's been renewed already, confirmed. But with the rate they're going, I can see them doing a season 11, season 12.
John always describes it like this. Say you were going from A to Z. You're always going to Z. If somewhere you go, oh wow, that'd be a really cool turn at J to go this way and to go, you know, R to go over here, but we're always going to Z. We're never going anyplace else. Once he told me that, I was like, yeah, I'm really cool. Don't tell me until I have to know when we're at Z, because what I want to do is experience it as we're going. I want to experience it like the people watching it are going to experience it. Like, tell me, like, right before I go to do it.
I just hope they don't make the same mistakes as what Lost did at the end of season 3, kind of suggested time travel or changing certain stuff that happened could be a thing. With Lost, I thought the first 2 seasons were amazing and handled the mystery really well, but I think after that, it kind of lost its way. I felt like they started making stuff up as they went along. Fortunately, from this, we know the writers of From do know where it ends, but could long it out. So hopefully, when they do that, it's all good. I'm all for it going on longer if it's still good and doesn't feel like they're doing it too long. I think it's on pace to be one of the big greats of TV. If they put it on Netflix, it would blow up. I think it is, or potentially could be, a bit hindered by the MGM Plus exclusive thing. The actor for Boyd, Harold Perrineau, did kind of approve of the idea that because it's not on Netflix, it's less likely to be cancelled, like so many good shows are said to have been on there. I still think they should take a chance on Netflix or get a deal where they can still have it go up first on MGM, but then have it go out on Netflix after. Shouldn't have to jump through hoops to be able to watch it. Breaking Bad wasn't massive at first, but they put it on Netflix, it blew up. It was always good, it just became popular. It's never been a question of the quality of the show, it's been a question of getting people to actually see it, and if it did get cancelled on Netflix, put it back on MGM.
I see this all over town. Okay, so MGM Plus is really pumping this out.
Yeah. I'm sure they are, but are they giving From a chance at the global success that I think it could be? I don't think so if it's just exclusive to MGM. They can stream it, they can air it, but it would be good if they took a chance on Netflix. As far as spin-offs, it's what every show is doing. Squid Game just announced loads, like an MCU timeline of it. I don't really see From doing that because it's still trying to find its own feet, let alone other shows. But like I said, if they put it on Netflix, like what Stranger Things is doing, like what every show ever is doing now, it would blow up even more, and that's when they could do other shows. But right now, it's just a question of will they keep it going before they get to, as Harold says, the Z. These are some cool similarities with The Walking Dead, but will it be even more similar in the mistakes they made? Only time will tell. What do you think of all this stuff? Do you think some of it is inspired and intentional tribute, or just a really weird coincidence? Let me know what you think down below, and of course make sure you press the like button, subscribe if you're new. Thank you for watching, I'll see you soon.
Those people, they got on my bus. It was my job to get them where they were going.
All right, tell me something. Does your pity party come with music?